Okay, this is a presentation on graphing, an introduction to graphs. We have three objectives. First, you want to be able to recognize the three types of graphs and decide which is the appropriate type to make, and that's going to depend on the data that you have. The next thing you want to be able to do is read a line graph, and the last thing is to be able to interpret what a graph shows. Let's start with line graphs. So a line graph has numbers on both axes. The axes refer to the horizontal line down here, that's the x-axis, and the y-axis is the vertical line going up. So every line graph has an x-axis and it has a y-axis. And a line graph is always going to have numbers on those axes. Time is often one of the variables used in a line graph, and if it is time, it's always going to go on the x-axis. Time never goes on the y-axis. Line graphs often show change over time, and it often shows how a dependent variable changes according to an independent variable. So if you think back to the scientific method, we talked about independent and dependent variables, and they show up again in line graphs. Okay, and like all graphs, it's going to have a title. It's going to have labels on both axes so that when you read the graph, you know, oh, this is a graph showing us plant growth, and it's showing how height depends on time, how height changes with the time. Okay, next up is our bar graph, and a bar graph has categories on one axis and numbers on the other axis. And it's most common to put the categories along the x-axis, and it's most common to have the numbers on the y-axis, but you will see that that can sometimes be reversed. So bar graphs are used to show differences between categories of things. So you're always going to have categories. In this example, it's a cafeteria lunch menu, and the categories are the categories of food that is available, the available items. Okay, and it's going to show the differences between categories of things, and most specifically, this is telling us the sales of the different items on the cafeteria menu. And again, it's always going to have a title, cafeteria lunch menu, and it's always going to have the axes labeled. So this x-axis is labeled with available items, and then the individual items are shown, and the y-axis is labeled with numbers, and it's telling you the number of items sold. Moving on to a pie chart. This shows how all pieces of the circle add up to 100%. So it always shows some kind of a total, and that's why we use this idea of a pie, because the pie shows the 100%, it shows all of it, and then you've got it divided into different parts, whatever it is you're trying to show. So parts of a whole. Again, always has a title, and the parts always have to add up to the whole. It has to add up to 100%, and the slices are used to show these individual pieces. And they, again, need to be identified with a label, and we're usually working with percent. So this pie chart shows how much water we use, and you can see toilets use the most water, and the other category has the least. Our next objective, if we jump back to what our objectives are, so we just went over this, I can recognize the three types of graphs and decide which is the appropriate choice based on our data. Now we're going to move on to the next objective, reading a line graph. So this little chart shows how to do that. And line graphs are either going to be increasing, as in A, or they're going to show decreasing, as in B, or it's going to show a constant and unchanging relationship, as in C. Okay, so A is showing that X on the y-axis is increasing at the same time that A is increasing. Okay, so this is clearly increasing. In example B, it's showing that Y starts off high, and then it's going to decrease, it's going to get less as X increases, right? As the numbers in X get bigger and bigger and bigger, the number on the y-axis is getting less and less and less. So this is a decreasing graph. And on C, it's showing you that even as X increases, X is getting more and more and more and more, Y doesn't change. Y stays whatever this number is, so it is constant, okay? So the last thing we need to go over is how to interpret graphs. And that's what we need to be able to do a lot in science, because we're going to be working with a lot of data, and I want you to be comfortable looking at a graph and understanding what it means. Okay, so when we interpret graphs, the first thing you need to do is look at the overall relationship that the graph shows. So if it's a line graph, you want to show how the data on the y-axis depends on the data on the x-axis. So a line graph, there's going to be a clear relationship between what's going on with x and what's going on with y. A bar graph, you want to look at the number of things in different categories, okay? And in a pie chart, you're going to look to see how all the different parts add up to the total, how it's going to add up to this 100%, okay? So your first step in interpreting a graph is, okay, what's the overall relationship that's being shown here? Once you've decided on that, you then want to look more closely and look at the individual parts of the graph and explain. So here, if it was a line graph, you would look at, is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Is it first increasing and then decreasing, or is it staying the same? So you look at each part and describe. If it's a bar graph, you're going to have to talk about each bar. This bar shows you this bar shows you that. And if it's a pie chart, you're going to have to talk about each piece. Okay, so first, what's the overall big picture that the graph is showing you, and then get into the individual parts of the graph. Let's look at a couple examples. Here are two examples. Let's look at the first one first. This is clearly a line graph, okay? And along the x-axis, it shows the amount of sunlight, and on the y-axis, it shows the number of trees in the forest, okay? So that's the overall pattern. So the sample interpretation says this graph shows how the number of trees in the forest depends on the amount of sunlight, right? How y depends on x. Okay, now I'm ready to look at the parts of the graph. So I'm going to start with this part here because it's increasing, and then this part here is constant. So in order to interpret the whole graph, I have to talk about what's going on here, and I have to talk about what's going on here. All right, so I'm going to start off. As the amount of sunlight increases, increasing, right? As the amount of sunlight increases, the number of trees in the forest starts to increase also, okay? So here is an increasing relationship. The amount of sunlight increases, number of trees increases, okay? But now I need to talk about what's going on here because it changes. So I say at some point, the number of trees in the forest stays constant. It does not change, even though the amount of sunlight continues to increase. Okay, so that's that graph. Now here's an example of a bar graph. As you can see, I kind of have a line graph in there, so just ignore that. That was supposed to be erased, but you can still kind of see it. So I'm just looking at the bars. All right, so I want to look overall, what does the graph show? And I say this graph shows the percentage of students getting different grades in science class, right? It's showing these different categories. Okay, and now I want to break it down and I want to explain each bar, each part of the graph. So I first kind of look at patterns and I notice, oh wow, the C is the highest, F is the lowest. All right, so most students, about 30%, have a C. The smallest group, at about 8%, is the students getting an F. About 10% have a D, about 25% have a B, about 20% have an A, okay? So I first establish overall what's going on, then I break it down and I get nitty-gritty explaining each part, each bar, or in the case of a line graph, each place where the line graph changes. And that is your introduction to graphs. We talked about the three types of graphs and knowing when you're going to make a line graph, a bar graph, or a pie chart. You looked at how you can read a line graph, if it's increasing, decreasing, or staying the same. And then we looked at interpreting what a graph shows.